Back, my brave Kerbal. I am Ben Pearson, the Roadster Tracker, and I just can't help but start my screen with this particular thing in the loading screen. Today, our plan is to go to Duna. We're going to try to do something I've never done before, the precision landing on Duna. Don't know if it's going to work, but we'll give it a shot. And yeah, I think that's how things are going to go. Oh, dear. Oh, bad me. Let's try this. That's why you always gotta check the stream to make sure everything's going well. Oh, you didn't see the face, but you know what I'm talking about. Ah! And I don't have my face either. Gosh. I was in too much of a hurry doing this. Alright, well. We're gonna start again. Haha. Let's restart. Greetings, brave Kerbal. Ben Pearson, the Roadster Tracker, and we are back with Kerbal Space Program 2. We're trying to do our best to get to the planet Duna. That's our major objective for the evening. And I think we're just going to give this a go. So before we go, let's take a look R&D. We are trying to do a precision landing. So we could do landing utilities. The drogue parachute, I think, is something that we're gonna need. Having some light probably wouldn't hurt either. Yeah, let's do that. I would love to do the heavy landings too. Definitely the better legs would be very, very helpful. But we don't have that much science. So, what are we gonna do? Well, let's take a quick look at the Mission Control Center. So escaping Kerbal, we're going to complete that because we're going wheeling and dealing. Maybe. I would have loved to have done this. I mean, Duna Monument, where this is the one we're going to track though. Do I want to do a little... I mean, they're just not that much. Yeah, we could do a simple satellite, probe core antenna, and solar panel. Nah. This would be a little bit more interesting, I suppose. Well, we're not going to do it though. We're going to go to the Kerbal Space Center. Gonna go to the VAB. Let's see what we can do. We're gonna start with the Minimus Beast. This has a lot of good things, but it has some issues as well. So first thing we're gonna do is take off this. We're going to use that later. The problem is, well, there's several problems. These engines are not going to be powerful enough to do much. Honestly, I want something just shorter and fatter. So let's kill these guys. We'll use the larger... Well, hang on. Yeah, we still want to use the smaller. Not this small, though. Silly. Let's do this size. Okay. Let's try to get this on the edge here. Good, good, good. Okay. Now, what's next? Let's actually carry this all the way down. Nope. No, 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 no. That's not what we want. We want this guy as far down as we can place it. But with a 6. Right there. Perfect. Perfect. Now, we could do... I think I do want to carry a little rover. Well, maybe... Ooh, this is a much, much smaller vehicle. So I think we can get by with the poodles. And then we'll put the arrow cones on and it should all be pretty decent. We do need the fuel tank. This guy. And then we'll put our little arrow cap on. Now, we're landing on Duna. Duna does have an atmosphere and we need to take advantage of that. As much as we possibly can. Hang on. This thing, I want it to be primarily to get us up. Let's build something ginormous here, shall we? Yeah. Let's see, the biggest fuel tank that we can have that is a hydrogen. We're gonna put a couple of those on, and then let's do a hydrogen engine. We could do... Let's do an engine plate. And then we want it to go back to the engines. We're gonna do maybe 4. Okay, we just want one of these crazy boosters to connect. Nope, that's not the right connection point. Shift. How was it that we... There we go, middle mouse button. Get a little bit better. Uh-oh. Sound stopped for just a sec. We crashed the game! Oh no! Alright, well. It is what it is. This happens sometimes, guys. Crashes are fun in Kerbal Space Program, but not when you crash the game. So let's see, what's new going on? Not a ton happening here at the end of the year. The big news, space news, is the maiden launch of the Vulcan rocket. Which should happen January 8th is the date that it's planned. Seizure warning, yeah. Hopefully it'll load a little quicker. Don't know if it will or not, but we'll see. It's fairly quick, and I have this on a very, very fast SSD right now. Because SSDs are quite cheap, actually. Let me know if you want me to hook you up with some connections, but they're very, very good. Okay. VAB. Man. Let's start with the Menace Beast again. Actually, we're gonna do... I want the bottom stages, but the top stages we're gonna completely redesign. So the first thing we're gonna do is we just want some hydrogen, a couple of tanks of hydrogen. This is gonna be our return stage. So we want to think about this vehicle in a couple of different stages. So we want to think about getting from Kerbal up back to, or from Duna to the Kerbal system, and we need a lot of delta V to do that, but it doesn't have to be very fast. Okay. So let's try 4 engines here. Okay. It's probably not enough though. Let's get a second fuel tank like that. It's a TWR. It's actually better than I thought it would be. Wow. So this is going to be just connected to here. Now this is where we're gonna, this is going to be called the Duna lander. Such a crazy mission, but we don't have the ability to do in situ resource. So it needs to be a little bit bigger than I would like. Not there. I wonder if that will work. Maybe. So let's put in some couplers. Now the goal of these is going to be to get off of the surface of Duna. So we'll check that out at a later time. Let's see what this will do. A little bit more squat, which is good. Squat, it means stable. Oops. Control Z. Okay, good. Want this right there. So it's kind of in the shell. I mean, it's hard to align perfectly, but I do want these to actually have a little bit of space between them. Actually, hang on. We're not doing this right yet. We need... Well, that does line up, but that's kind of beside the point. We need to have another interplanetary stage. Okay, so let's raise you up higher. Then we're gonna do a stage coupler. I guess that works. All right, and then we're gonna do another stage for the transfer. that did not put on the right spot. Dadgum. No. Okay, hang on. The tank didn't go on the right spot. Okay. Good. Let's give it another tank. And then we're gonna do... You know, we don't really need that much thrust. So let's actually have this be a single so we can actually get rid of the engine plate. It's fine. But we do want an engine plate for this guy because this is a much, much heavier craft that's going to be coming. Okay. We're going to try to put 4 here. And I'm going to go ahead and put the coupler here. Okay. No, we don't need this symmetrical. Control Z. Okay, and connected right there. Good. Yeah, I don't really love this, and I don't think it's got enough delta V either. Let's check the staging though. Oh, the staging's awful. Okay, so third stage... 18, I mean, this staging is genuinely awful. Wow. Okay, these rockets will fire when, actually, stage 3 should be on its own. 7 is right. 6 is... That's not 6. These guys are... What, the same? This group here should be on its own stage. So let's move these two to their own stage. Good. And those guys should go... See, we separate that. Then the lone engine fires after this separation. That's fine. This separation will happen... Well, actually, no. The lone engine fires here. This separation will cause the 6 engines to fire. Okay. So let's start. This should be the first stage. 7 engines firing there. All the boosters. The launch clamps. Good. The next stage should be 12 separate. Okay. Then that's the next stage. Good. Then you can fire. That's fine. The next stage should be... ignite these rockets. That happens here, yes. Now we may do some finagling of some of this, but that's fine. These should actually happen on its own dedicated stage. And be something more like here. Come on, right there. Right here. All right. Well, let's do it this way then. Let's create a new stage here. We'll move these guys into that stage, and then we'll minus this stage. Okay, let's check this out. Launch clamps fire, these engines fire, those guys fire. Good. Then they separate the boosters. Then we'll separate to the inner stage. And then the core stage separates. These guys fire. Yeah, that's fine. This Delta V is much more closer. Now, there's a couple of issues. Mostly in the forms of parachutes, but not entirely. So we're gonna change a few little doohickeys. Let's, first of all, put 6-fold. I'm okay with this. I don't love it, but I'm okay with it. And I'm gonna actually put 4-fold parachutes, and we're gonna put drogues on, and we're gonna put main chutes. We're gonna put lots and lots and lots and lots of parachutes. Also gonna put them on here. Oh, we have parachutes there. Okay. So these guys are stage 10. There should be... Honestly, there needs to be another stage here. These guys are gonna move. The drogues should come first. Those are the drogues. And some of these drogues... Well... Do we want to fire all of the drogues? I don't know if we can repack parachutes, so we're not going to fire all of the drogues. Then we're going to put another stage in here. It's going to be all of these guys. And then we'll leave stage 12 alone for the moment. Okay, so stage 9 needs to be here. Okay, now we want to find this grouping. I'm just going to drag these down into here for the moment. Okay. Those are the main chutes, so that's going to be the final stage. Oh, this rocket's so crazy. Then the drogues. We're gonna put there. We got some blank stages we're gonna get rid of. Okay. Woo. This is serious. This is intense. We have the docking port. I don't really want a docking port on top. So we'll put a small parachute here. And that one should be part of the final. Yes. Okay. Whew. I think we probably need some strats. Things are a lot more stable than they were before, but they're not fully stable. Okay, guys, what do you say the chance of success here is? I'm gonna say not super high. Well, anyways, let's load this full of Kerbals. We got Bob, Airwig, and Lamprey. We have no landing legs on here. Let's just see how stable this is with the launch pad. It is stable. Good. So revert to VAB. Confirm revert. Now I don't know how well the landing legs are going to help. We really need the bigger landing legs. But... you gotta do something, I guess. I gotta say, this is working so much better than the previous iteration. Like, that did not work in the original KSP2. And it just worked smoothly and perfectly. I am actually constantly impressed with the improvements they've made. This feels... I've said it so many times, this feels like a game that's in early access. It still has its issues. We had a crash right out of the gate. But... you know, it wouldn't be Kerbal if it was perfect. Especially right out of the gate. But, you know, this doesn't feel like the weird alpha level build that they had before. I'm nervous about this one, guys. I didn't even check my engineering report, but... yep, we do have a good enough thrust to weight. Good. Whew. Man, oh man, it looks like a bomb went off at the KSC. Okay, we're doing alright. Thing is stable. Wow. We needed a few struts to get it to work, but man, I'm happy with this. Probably could have put an extra fuel tank or something on. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, we are 1,000 meters, so let's start a gravity turn. This should be enough of one. Okay. Looking fine, still looking fine. Can't believe how well this is holding up together. Let's do a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, we still have a fair bit on our solids. hopefully we got all the staging right. I would not be surprised if we did not have everything all right. Okay. The solids are kind of close to done, so we're just gonna hold steady here. We are going higher up than we should, so as soon as we ditch the solids, then we're gonna do a very beautiful. Performance is much, much better. This would have been a very, very challenging craft to make it. Okay. Yeah, we need to keep going quite a bit more. So we're not going to quite make it to orbit with this stage, but hopefully we can get pretty close. Oh yeah, we definitely need to level out quite a bit more. More vertical velocity, please. Let's just stay right here. Yep, we'll have the SEP all at once. I think I got a bigger rocket engine unlocked. I forgot to use it. Oh well. We could have done that, but that's fine. Would have helped. Would have helped. Okay, so far so good. Keep tilting. Let's go for full horizontal. Uh-oh. These 4 engines should fire now. Pushing a little bit downward, which I don't love, but we're okay. Let's lock right on prograde and just fire there. Yeah, that'll do, that'll do. I don't think there's a lot of thrust vectoring happening with these. We didn't put solar panels, oh no. That's bad. We're not going towards Prograde at all. I don't... We must not have thrust vectoring. Do these not have thrust vectoring? Yeah, they don't. So we're gonna have to deal with that problem. It's fine. Velocity is going down, but we're kind of pointed the wrong direction, so that's fine. Okay, we're gonna call this a successful test launch. We know we could recover the crew. That's not really an issue. That's an easy trajectory, but it would not take us to Duna. The big reason is because we need better control. So, what should we do for that? Well... first of all, Let's put in a small monopropellant guy in each of these. Too big. Okay. Then we're gonna put in some little monopropellant, not engines, will be, is it a utility? Yeah, it is. Actually, I do think I want to do a couple of different pods, but these need to be controlled. We don't want to have it going on the inside. So we'll do a couple of these. But that's really just for the landing phase. We don't want to use that for the burning phase. So what can we do? We do have the stabilizer. Let's put in a couple of these. Okay. And that's gonna take some serious power. Let's also put one up near the top. I'm amazed with how well that worked. It's kind of scary actually how easily it all worked. Electrical is what we're looking for. And we just want some of these nice, lovely, large solar panels. Let's just go with the 6. And then we should take some for the center stage home. Okay. So this is Duna Mark II. Not counting the version that never took off the launch pad. That doesn't count. It really doesn't, guys. Okay. Yeah, we'll skip the countdown this time. Oof. Choo-choo. We're moving way slower now than we were before. We do have a lot more parts though, to be fair. Okay. That's fine. So we need to try to do the gravity turn a little bit earlier. That's the biggest issue we had with our flight profile last time. Yeah, I'm starting the turn. Solid rockets are still good. We're gonna try not to do anything during stage events. It's very challenging to get this. Okay, let's stay right here for a while. Amazing. It looked like we came from over here, but you know, you just gotta veer a little bit. Oh, that's a different sound. Ooh, hello, default name. What is this? Looks like we're going to the moon, but it's Mars. Yeah. That must be the craft that we launched and it failed. We reverted, but it's still here? What? I'm curious now. I kind of want to do a flyby. Okay, let's tilt over a little bit more. Well, we're not going to pass that close. We're going in a little different direction. But we may pass within at least 10 kilometers. We'll pass. Shoot, in space terms, this is positively close. Okay. Clean sep. I think this is just about as close as we're gonna get. We'll get a little closer. There's a bunch of objects there. They have some separation. It must be something to do with revert. It must be a revert bug. It's the only thing it could possibly be. That's cool though. More bugs if the KSB devs are out there watching these videos. Alright, how are we doing? Looks real good. Since we're not trying to do anything funny, I'm going to go ahead and just separate everything off all at once at the bottom. So why not? It'll look pretty actually, even though we didn't really need the separators. This is more of a Saturn 1 type of rocket. There's a whole bunch of stages fused together. They can separate, but nah. Okay, 107. We should try to aim for about a minute. So we're gonna go more horizontal. Minute to opoise. There we go. It's holding steady now. Let's go a little more. Oh, we're 30 kilometers high. Wow. Okay. It's probably good we're building up a little bit because the upper stage is kind of weak. That's a fun little separation. Bye-bye. Thank you. You did good. You done did good. Let's go ahead and lock on prograde at this point in time. And you can see... Yeah, we definitely need some acceleration. Don't know if this is going to have enough oomph to get us the rest of the way. This Delta V is that low? What the? Alright, stage is kind of useless. This stage has plenty of oomph though, so... We should make this a much more powerful stage with a lot more fuel. Okay. Yeah, this has so much fuel. This is crazy. We learned some stuff. Every time I build one of these, I learn. This return stage will work quite well, but we need another chemical stage. Before we would try, and these things are so huge. Uh-oh. We need to point up more. Because we're going down. Not good, not good. Okay, what do we do? What do we do? It's basically not gonna do any good, but we may as well light it. Yeah. We're very close to orbital velocity, though. Okay, we need to do things differently. Revert to VAB. Okay. So, I think the only reasonable solution, we got to get rid of the stage I was hoping would be our interplanetary stage. It does not have enough thrust to do anything, really. Okay. Kill that stage. And we're gonna fire this here. I'm actually gonna fire all of these at once, and then we'll put the engine firing at the same time because we know that's gonna have to happen. And then this should be enough to take us interplanetary and all the way. I mean, there's 4,000 delta V in that stage. That's a lot of delta V. So, okay. This is Mark 3. Launch. We got this, guys. We got this. Turns out those people saying we shouldn't nuke the atmosphere of our planet, they were right in this instance. Oh, that doesn't look good. 10 solid engines. We're... Of course, we can't cut the solids, so... Let's just see if we can abort. Okay, at this point in time, we can kill the engines and we would be safe. So, revert to launch. Let's try this. That was a nice test of the escape system. Granted, I would not want to be in that in real life. Woo! Sorry. Every now and then, and I still can't figure this out, the volume just jumps on my computer. Okay. We need struts. That's what this is saying. Revert to VAB. Okay, that makes sense actually. So we can strut this. Strut our stuff. This is a very unwieldy looking structure, and I don't blame it for wanting to have struts. Wait, that didn't work. Control Z. Okay, and then let's go to a 6 mode. And 6 to here. That should be much better. Okay, lunch. That's better. Revert to VAB. So strutting wasn't good enough. Let's also take the launch towers down. So that way we clear the tower just a little bit sooner. Just a little bit. What does the engineer's report say? Says it won't leave the launch pad. What? That's much better. Not really going to call that a different lander. Just move tweak the stuff in, the engines around and whatnot. The clamps. This thing is wobbly. I don't actually like the look of this. So one thing I noticed is I have 2 launch clamps on some of the boosters and none on some of them. So we're gonna fix that problem. That should help. Let's also strut the solids. Just on top. I think that'll do. Okay, launch. Fingers crossed. See how wobbly this looks. Still is a little bit wobbly. There we go. Woohoo! Choo-choo. Cleared the launch pad this time. Beautiful. used a surprisingly large amount of fuel just to get this high, though. Maybe we need another round of solids. This thing was very, very sluggish off of the launch pad. We could put one more set of solid rockets there. There is room for one more. One more set of 6. Okay, let's start to turn. This should be good. Let's hold steady. Shadows look a little bit funny. Okay, let's try to stay right about there. Okay, that looks good. Looks like we have garbage at all of the launch pads. Wow. Okay, we'll tilt over more. Actually, let's lock on prograde. We're just gonna go with that for now. Yeah, this should do. We are on a very shallow trajectory. Well, the solids are about to go. We should still have a fair bit of thrust to weight after this, so that's good. This is not shallow. This is actually pretty spot on of where we should be. Just looking to see if we see... Okay, SEP. And clean. Woo! I always breathe a sigh of relief when nothing recontacts. Okay, we're cruising along. Lovely engine plumes. Burns. Looks like got a nice little debris cloud and it kind of went away. All right. Well, we have science that I've been totally ignoring because really we don't have science. Experiment in progress. Well, that's new. Okay, we should shallow out a little bit. This must be the atmospheric sniffer. Okay. Wonder how long this will take. Hopefully we'll be here long enough to get the experiment done. We do have a little bit of data. Well, maybe not. Okay. keeping an eye on this time. We can let it go a little bit more. Let's fast forward to about 60. Let's wait until the time here is about 1:30. Or 60, whichever comes first. Wow, my instincts are pretty good. It's gonna come very close to the same time. Okay. 132 and holding steady. So we're still rising in our apoasis. Which, you know, we're pointing a little bit up, so I guess that makes sense. Let's actually level out more. Point right there. Okay. Yeah, we need to be burning at this point in time. Every little bit helps. Every teensy tiny little iota of performance that we can get will help at this point in time. Well, maybe not that much. We could turn this on. Maybe we should. Nah. Probably didn't need as much RCS. That's more helpful for landing on the airless bodies. Okay. We're getting close to orbital velocity, but we're still a little ways shy. Let's go ahead and lock on prograde now. Prograde's actually more shallow than where we're pointing. So that'll give us the optimum vector for putting as much force into this thing as we can get. Not a bad little Duna lander. Sets the landing gears. I just realized this is gonna be a big problem. We didn't check at all. Well, it is what it is. Is what it is. Okay, we're actually rising now. So let's cut off the engines for a scooch. How did I not notice that problem? Wow. Such a glaringly obvious problem, but I mean, there's not a really obvious solution. Well, there is. That's bad enough. We'll do a revert. And this will actually help make this rocket look less stupid too, which I like. So what we're gonna do this as low as we can get it. That looks good. And then I'm going to alt click. We'll put another solid rocket booster on. Nope, that is not where we want that. We want it right here. Preferably slightly more. No. Let's take this guy and move him slightly out. There we go. That I think is how we want this thing, and then we need to restrut these guys. I don't know how the top struts did with our rejiggering of things. Okay. It's actually probably, I mean, it's not bad. Okay. We'll hang these guys up a couple. Okay, good, good. Okay, I feel this is gonna work better. Looks like we've got stable. Actually, hang on. Revert to VAB. The staging is all messed up and I want to fix this once, so we're not going to fix it on the fly. Should not be surprised the staging's messed up. The auto stager, even the original KSP, didn't work great, and it's worse in this game. So far. So we want this to fire at the same time. These guys all to fire at the same time, and you to all there. Okay. That should do her. Now we should be able to shoot off with a fair bit more force, I'm hoping. Yeah, no countdown this time. There we go. We don't have the sinking problem. We're doing all right. We're doing okay. I'm not gonna do that because I know that that means something different depending on where you're at. Perfectly okay. Woo. Too bad they can't get a camera that will actually last straight up the shot like that. Excuse me. Keep turning. all right. Let's keep going like this. I'm gonna actually lock on prograde, and we're gonna keep this attitude going. We probably want to have a, well, no, we're gonna go more horizontal. Okay. This looks good. Let's just hold steady for a little bit because we got separation coming soon. And sep. Ooh. Looks like we had a little minor contact, but it was not. Probably just destroyed the hardware that connected it together, which is perfectly okay. Okay. This looks fine. 1,000 meters. We'll almost make it to orbit. Almost. Let's shallow this out a little bit more. Let's try. Yeah, the two are almost identical at this point in time. No. Nope, but we don't want to point down at all. We do want to point right here. 10 degrees should be good. Just a little tiny bit up. So we do want to go up, but going horizontal is more important. We just want to go up enough to not hit the ground. That's it. Okay, let's lock on prograde at this point in time, because I'm not real confident that we're going to be able to do anything else. $500, so this will take us. We're gonna be very close. I think this is better than what we did last time, but then again, we did have the extra boosters, so we would expect to do a little bit better. Okay, choo-choo. Look at this, 8,000 meters per second. Still left. We are very much going down, though, which is to be expected. Okay. And do the mega separation. Mega sep. Okay. Yeah, we did do a more shallow trajectory than we did previously. But this is good. This is actually spot on where we should be. Because we're not going to get too high, I don't think. Pretty high velocity, honestly, for as low as we are. This would not quite be a re-entry, though, if we were going, say, from the moon. for Mun. It's a little bit too high for that, so that's fine. There's not a lot of atmosphere up this high. So I have no doubt it's slowing us down a little bit, but we are continuing to accelerate. And we are actually going up a little bit. I'm gonna keep firing though until we hit about 75 Apoasis, and then we're gonna cut the engines. And one thing we did not do is check to see if there was even a decent time to go to Duna. It's probably not, spoiler. But we'll do the best we can. Okay, so let's fast forward. At this point in time, we probably want to fast forward until almost till we leave the atmosphere completely. Yeah, this atmosphere, it'll affect our orientation a little bit. We'll have some aerodynamic effects, but it's not really enough to slow us down much. You can see most of what we're slowing down is because we're going higher. The easier way is to pay attention to the Apoasis. What? Okay. We lost our science package. That is a bit of a problem. I'm gonna say that is a bug, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's go ahead and fire. Experiment interrupted. We can't do it anymore. Looking fine. I can't believe we lost that. Oh, that's a shame. But we're just gonna have to deal with the loss of that. I didn't check, but you can see clearly that the center stage is much, much better than it was before in terms of its ability to withstand stuff. We still would have to land on a pretty even surface. Wait a minute. Okay. It's actually good that we're burning a lot of this fuel because this would be hard for us to land on Duna with this much fuel. Let's fast forward a little bit. Let's go to about 1 minute at this point in time. Actually, we're close enough. Let's actually go to here. Will do. That's just to get us pointing in the right direction better. Actually, let's use RCS. Why not? Turn off RCS. Woohoo! We did it, guys. Now, let's see how horribly we... How do we have something that's doing a flyby of Eve? Wow. So let's see, we'll want to do probably about here. See how close I am. So burn less. Yeah, we're not that close. We can burn a little bit earlier. I mean, not really getting much closer. So, problem is we need to wait. I mean, we're quite a bit off and we're going faster. So it should be possible. Let's go to the tracking station. We're gonna warp about a month or two. I don't care. I don't want to track this mission. Let's destroy this. All of this debris everywhere. The moon lander, I mean, that's our one that we had to go send the rescue mission for. Well, This is where you're supposed to be able to fast forward missions quite fast. Okay, fine. Let's go choose this mission. We're gonna focus, we're gonna control it. Maybe if we delete that and then we go back to the tracking station? Not training center. Little funky music. Let's see, research and development. Not really gonna have much there though, so back to the tracking station. Yeah, that's really the best we can do. "508 science, really?" That's why I didn't research that. I thought I did. Oh! It didn't save there. Okay, well, whatever. It's fine. That would have helped a little bit, but not that much, really. Okay. I don't want to do this. So we're gonna look for plan B. That is our target. Well, I don't know what these mean. Create a maneuver plan. We're going to actually one orbit from now. It's got to be a little bit earlier, maybe. Okay. A lot of bit earlier. That looks pretty decent. I mean, try more like this. Well, let's see how this does. We can see we can get a lot further. 2A, where's 2B is way down there. Okay, let's keep these touching. We're gonna try to just vary when we would launch. See how that affects things. Unfortunately, I don't know of a great way to zoom in and out, in and out. Okay, let's try something radically different. Let's try something more like this. This is a less efficient trajectory, but we have some fuel, and if we have to send a rescue mission, we'd have to send a rescue mission. No. Alright, let's try... The other thing we could do, hang on, let's not be stupid. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna raise our Oasis up to, let's say, 100. 100, and then our periapsis to 100, and we should be able to warp faster. Oh, rotating pretty decent, actually. Could turn around the RCS, but I really don't care that much. If it takes a little time, it takes a little time, and that is just fine. Bring this up to over 100. Okay. Then we're gonna warp to the Oasis and bring it up over 100. All these spent stages everywhere in the system. Well, you gotta do what you gotta do. 30 seconds is not a lot of time, but it's some time. We do have the atmospheric sniffer for Duna, but we don't have our basic science. That kills me, but that's okay. The crew observations are pretty valuable. We will make do. And the sample's very valuable. And even more valuable is the science that we'll get from the mission. Okay. Whoops. Had a wrong window pulled open. Just fire for a little scooch. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed we can't warp faster. Duna's ahead, but we should be faster. I mean, I actually thought this was reasonably close to a launch window. One good way to always tell when the launch windows should be, the angle would be, so you want to be going nearly perfectly horizontal when you leave. So like this. The angle, like this. You can see that the line that we're leaving is very, very close to, you actually want it to go a little bit out. We need to go a little bit stronger. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. So the optimal angle would be, we will be right here. So if Duna's here, we'll be right there, so it should be like Duna by about here if we were going to do this right. But you can do stuff if you burn at a different time. You have to burn a little bit faster. But it'll shift the direction that it goes. Honestly though, we need to kill a little bit of time, so we kind of maybe need to go inward. Maybe we need to do a bent directory. One A, 1B. They are closer there. So let's try something more like this. Oh, I hate this trajectory, but it'll be fine. So what if we did... Honestly, screw this. We're gonna do this the Kerbal way that would be awful to do in real life. But I know what we're gonna do. Whoops. No, no, don't time warp. Create a maneuver plan. What we're gonna do is, assuming there's no life support, we're gonna do something like that. This is good. And we're just gonna take this, even though Duna will not be there, we're gonna touch its orbit and it will be perfectly fine. What we'll have to do is some deep space trajectories to make it work right, but meh, who cares? It's just Kerbal's time. And all the time, they'll be in deep space. They will be so super excited. It's pretty decent. Okay, let's go in just a little bit. One, right there. Perfect. Okay, time warp. $25. It's gonna take a little while, but that's okay. We got plenty of time. Plenty of time. Okay, let's warp a little bit closer. We are pointed right. We're also not going to have comms on our way to Duna, but that's okay. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire. So we're gonna accelerate this burn. And since this doesn't need to be precise because we're not actually gonna hit Duna, we just want to actually do the burn exactly as intended. Okay. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Okay. So we're now on our way outside of the Kerbal system. Actually, let's just fast forward. Collect this stuff. Keep fast forwarding. Okay, we got a reward for leaving the Kerbal system. Uh-oh. We have no communications at all. Well, that's a problem. So we can't collect science when you're out this far without communication. Wow. That really changes how you have to do these missions. Okay. Tell you what. I think we're just going to take these guys and get them home. And we're going to say that this was a successful test mission, but we know what we need to do next time. And the next time we need to launch at the right spot, the right part in the trajectory. Not min-miss. There's too much garbage there. I want to just set Kerbal as our target. Okay. Thank you. Now we're gonna set a maneuver node maybe here. And actually, let's just go retrograde right now. Full stop burn. We'll see what we can do to get home. Actually, let's go target retrograde. Yeah. This will probably be about the delay of the 2 months that we need. Okay. Yeah, Saturday I should have longer to stream, and I will definitely... We'll make it to Duna one way or another on Saturday. This was kind of a bonus stream anyways. This is not normally the days that I stream. So, yeah. Kills me that we can't do science here. Actually, let's go orbital. Okay. Let's just do a maneuver node, I don't know, here? So if we go here, I see 2A and 2B are coming close to each other, and they are about to intersect. So are 1A and 1B. Yeah, let's just do this now. It's exactly what we're doing at the moment, so... Just keep an eye for when they come close. So we'll be a year out. I mean, it's okay. A little bit of a deep space mission. We did get one achievement unlocked, and we learned a lot about the spacecraft design. It turns out it's a little more interesting than I had thought. So there's that. Let's fast forward. Okay, once they get close, then we're gonna slow down. Very, very close now. Okay. Whoops. Let's accelerate just a scooch, and I think we're gonna keep that goal. We're gonna do just a little tiny acceleration. We've used enough of our fuel. I'm gonna go ahead and use the RCS. I want this thing to be a little bit more maneuverable. Just because I want this mission done at this point in time. Very, very likely thing I'm going to do after this stream is to finally get Apple TV Plus and start watching For All Mankind, which is a really fantastic series. If you like this game, you probably will like that series. It's basically a alternative history where the Soviets beat the Americans to the moon. Okay. Minmus? Okay, let's just go with this. I love the idea of a Minmus flyby, but let's warp to here. We're fairly close there. We probably could have done a return if we wanted to at that point in time. Okay. Now, this is where we should do our maneuver node. Kerbal PE, that's the one we want. Hang on. It's not what we want. This isn't quite doing what I want it to do. Okay, let's just try this then. We're gonna hold this. Burn. That doesn't work, so we're gonna try slowing down. We do have the RCS on. Considering how much we have, I am more than happy to burn a little bit. Not a problem at all. It's amazing how relatively steady this is, even though we're using RCS. This is only varying by a few kilometers. That's really pretty good, actually. Okay. Let's see if we can get this to inside of the atmosphere. I'm going to turn off RCS. Twelve, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we're in the slow range. A little bit more. Okay. Actually, that's not good. So let's turn on the RCS again. We need to not quite hit the planet. Just barely grazing the atmosphere is what we're going for. About 35 kilometers should be pretty good. Yeah, we'll take this for now. I'm gonna set this. Let's time warp here, and then we'll do another little tiny burn once we get closer. Go ahead and use the RCS. We have a lot of help, although I kind of want to see how this does in a interplanetary return. Yeah, that'll do. Can we do science from here? Just want to do science. Okay, let's try to do this. Invalid research location. Really? All right. Let's try right before. Yeah, that's annoying that we can't collect the science. Oh well. It's a pity, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. Let's just warp fairly full speed head. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. Should have stopped the warp all the way. How fast are we going? 800? Yeah, we can eat this. I mean, we have so much thrust in this stage. That problem was a problem in Kerbal Space Program 1, and it's obvious it's in 2 as well. The time warping through encounters. It's a very tricky balance to maintain, to stop the time warp before there, but not get to be super annoying otherwise. So, they got a little tweaking to do. Hopefully they can. It seems like a solvable problem, but should just, like, if I was gonna solve it, I'd say if you are approaching a planet enough that your trajectory is gonna change significantly, then, or like if you're over a certain velocity or something, I don't know. Let's just keep burning. Now, of course, this is a no good trajectory for different reasons at this point in time. Let's head a little bit radial out. Maybe I want to go radial in. Nah, let's just slow our speed down to nothing. And then we'll figure something out. Okay. It's not radial out. I want to go this direction. What way is that? It's the one with the X, okay. Keep keep going until, yep, there we go. Perfect, actually. 42... Oh, that's actually a little bit... Well, let's go to here. We're going to switch the pointing. And I'm going to do just a little tiny burn in. The tiniest of burn-ins. Go ahead and use what RCS we've got. Okay. Let's do... Oh, we're on a crash course now. No. We're not. Are we? Don't think we're on a crash course. No, it's right there. Okay. Let's just go down to about 35. That'll do. Okay, let's warp to here. Our lovely space debris that someday we'll need to do something with. Oh. Oh, that's... Never mind. That's the maneuver node that we weren't going to use. So we're going to warp to inside of the atmosphere. Then I may as well use what fuel we've got to slow us down. I mean, it's a little tempting to try to land this thing. You know, honestly, we should be able to land this thing. We should absolutely be able to land this thing. Go ahead and activate. Because the next stage is going to be... Yeah. Let's start slowing down. I'm going to also burn just a little scooch up. We're going to try not to shallow too much. But I'm going to try to land the whole thing. I don't know if we're going to succeed. It's worth a shot. Now this, we don't care. This is the one. I'm gonna have that happen all at the same time. This guy is already activated, so it doesn't matter. This will be a fun practice after all. Can't fully tell that the hydrogen stage, there it is. You can see it barely if you're looking at the right angle. Let me go ahead and hit space. So now we can see that. All right. Yeah, I don't care. For some reason, Amazon thinks that I want to watch football, and I really could care less. I'm gonna try to land with everything. funny looking moon, but okay. See if we can collect some atmospheric samples at least. Yeah, really we just want to burn off the fuel is the key thing. And also we're trying to avoid some heat. Still too fast to fire the drogues. How long it'll take the experiment to run. Hopefully we can get at least a little bit of science from this mission. Okay, these guys are almost out. Wow. Okay. Now we've just got our little hydrogen stage, a extraordinarily efficient, almost too efficient stage. We're doing all right. Still too fast for the drogues, but we are slow enough where I'm confident we're going to land. And there's a decent chance that this thing will work. We've got our backups if we need it. I'm gonna keep firing the helium stage all the way down. I'm sure it would take forever to burn out all the fuel, but the more fuel we can remove, the better off. Up until the point of full parachute deployment. Okay, we are heating up a little bit more. Seeing some re-entry, but honestly, we shouldn't be seeing that much. Let's pull the landing gear in. We are moving pretty fast, I guess. Alright, keep going. You can do this. What's safe drogue deployment speed? I think the 16R is... what's the deploy settings? Doesn't say what the safe speed is, but okay. Looks like we lost some engines, that's okay. Fire the chutes. Okay, we got drogues. And then let's do primaries. I think this will do it. Yeah, we're at a safe speed. Not bad, not bad. Okay, let's just fast forward. There's actually some of these that we... let's go ahead and put the rest of them on. Seems very confused, but that's just fine. Let's turn off RCS. Okay. Go ahead and ground legs. We only have a few legs left. That's okay. It doesn't matter because we're landing in the water, but we're just kind of practicing our mission. There's the drogues. So they should slow us down to something reasonable. No more electrical control. That's okay. Oof. It's a nice G-load. This is still pretty fast, but we'll survive for sure. I'm sure we've got a sample of the water, so there's some random parts that are all over the place. Okay. I'm gonna pull the landing legs. So what have we learned? I don't think we need a Duna heat shield because the parts that gave us the biggest problems was when we got close. But this is actually fairly similar to how our Duna mission is gonna go in a lot of ways. This is a good test. This is a very good test. But we know that we need to get communication. I did not know how important that would be. So we're gonna do that real quick before we finish the episode. Okay. How long does the air sample have to be in to make a difference? Wow. Alright, game, come on now. Don't freeze now. You can do it, game. Vessel recoverable, good. Looks like no more science that we can do. So let's just recover vessel. Okay. Research, nothing. Well, the only thing that we actually got from this was our mission to escape Kerbal. So glad you're back. Clue must have a glorious tan. At least the latter survived. Corn kernels, sun roasted popcorn could be our official snack. Nice. Keeps walking around judging all the ladders, asks him to leave several times, just gets this distant look saying they need me. Who are they, the ladders? Okay, thanks science, woohoo! So let's go to the VAB. Really, the only thing that we need for the Mark IV is a communication antenna. I'm gonna put a good one in. Making sure that's not blocking the port, and it's not, or the, yeah, that's the side. So that should do. We can do the better parachute too. So let's go ahead and do that. I thought we had the better parachute. Yeah. Fine. In that case, let's just put our signs back on here. And then we'll put our little parachute on. We'll hope that next time it does not get affected. Okay. It looks real good. Save. Alright. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me know whatever questions, comments you guys have. I will be back on Saturday. Take care until then. We'll see ya.